I've been using Microsoft Surface Go for more than half a year. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and what you need to know. What's up everybody, Brad here, and it's hard to believe that I've been using this guy for more than half a year. It turned, it's over 6 months old at this point, and we need to talk about what you need to know on this guy because, well, you learn a thing or two after using a device for this long. Obviously, I tried to do my best in the initial review, but after using this thing for many months on several road trips, taking it on the back of an airplane a couple times, use it a lot around the house, a little bit for work, and taking it out to the coffee shop a time or two, here is what you need to know about Microsoft's smallest tablet. So the device starts at $399. You can find it on sale, but the entry-level device is going to be somewhere around $400, especially because the type cover does not come with it. That is a major downfall, and your old type covers, they're not going to work with it either. But that being said, this is a tiny little guy, and I quite like it, honestly. It works very well to just chuck in the bag when you're in that mode and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to need a laptop or whatnot with me. I'm just going to take my phone. This thing weighs a little over a pound, which means that you can just throw it in your bag and you realistically don't even think about it because it's that light. Now, the size is obviously small. This thing is awesome at running one app at a time. Don't think this is going to be some sort of multitasking powerhouse. The Intel Pentium Gold processor, it leaves a lot of room to be desired. But if you're just running email, basic applications one at a time, you are perfectly fine with this. I'm telling you now, don't think you're going to snap apps side by side and have a great experience. But that being said, for just knocking out an email or two, watching a movie on the back of the plane, just scrolling through Twitter or Facebook, on the couch while watching football or anything like that, this is a really good device. Now, the keyboard does leave some room to be desired. It's a little bit small, but at the same time, you do get used to it. There's really no way Microsoft can cram a larger keyboard in here, and so it's not a big knock against the device, but don't think you're going to buy this thing and then knock out 10,000 word dissertations or anything like that. It works just fine, but just know that it's a little bit on the small side if you have larger hands. Trackpad, pretty good. For a device like this, a tablet, you will be really happy with it. I mean, the trackpad is good. If you've used any other type cover over the years, well, I should say the past year or two, you know what you're going to get with that trackpad. And look, it's large, it's good, you'll be happy with it. Now, my biggest complaint actually with the Surface Go is not so much the Surface Go itself, it's the battery life. Now, here's what I mean, and I don't mean the battery life while using the hardware, because using it, you're going to get anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, depending on how you're using it, which isn't a lot, but it's enough. The biggest problem with this is that I'll take the Surface Go and I'll put it down, and I may not use it for a week or maybe even 2 weeks at a time. It's a casual use PC. It's for the first line workers. And then the problem is you go to pick it up and you have no idea how much battery is going to be left. There's something to do with Intel and Windows, and if this bug has persisted, it's not only limited to Surface hardware, but the battery life just kind of disappears when it's left idle for a long period of time. And so I would go to pick up the Surface Go, and sometimes the battery would be completely flat, sometimes it would be fine. You never really know what you were going to get. This makes me kind of wish that this thing had a Snapdragon chip inside, because the new Snapdragon chips that were announced roughly around the same time as this device have roughly the same level of performance. But the big benefit with the Snapdragon chip, or ARM if you want to be more particular, is that you can set the device down, leave it for a month, pick it back up, and have the same level of battery capacity. And so here's what you need to know about the Go. It is a good small tablet for casual use PC. It will stand the test of time. The Alcantara type covers have held up. The fit and finish has held up. The LTE model has held connectivity to the cellular networks just fine. But just know that the battery life is going to be the big downfall. But I hope that the next iteration will have much smaller bezels. That being said, guys, if you can find the Surface Go on sale, I don't really recommend the 64 gigabyte model because it comes with that eMMC storage. Try to find the 128 gig version that comes with a proper solid state drive, and you'll get better performance. It's honestly worth the jump. Look for it on sale. We're halfway, no, I don't want to say halfway, but typically, if Microsoft's updating this thing on an annual schedule, you're about halfway through. So we should start to see some sales on this hardware. And if you can find it for the right price, you'll be happy with it. If it's got that Surface fit and finish, it feels like a quality machine. Performance a little bit lacking, battery life not so good, keyboard a little tiny, but at the same time, this is ultra mobile. This is a good tiny laptop for the right use case. And if you know what the use case is and you understand the limitations of the device, you'll be really happy with the Go.